Right, hello everyone. Just to explain, I'm in my jacket because I'm freezing and because the studio isn't lit on a Sunday, sorry, isn't heated on a Sunday. So tomorrow I'll light the log burner and it'll be nice and warm and I won't look quite as cold. This is just going to be a basic explanation of two things I want us to do over the next 2 weeks. Now I've chosen two because I think I don't know what materials you have at home and what you have access to. So I thought if I did two things, you could do one this week and one next week, depending on which way around and what things you have available. For example, if I set a task and I said, right, I need you to have this, whatever the paints were, and you didn't have them, then you couldn't do it, then it's going to annoy people, so or it won't really work. So I thought, just for this week, let's have, there's two choices of things to do. Also, I thought it'd be good if we could do some stuff outdoors tomorrow, but I think it's going to be too cold for that. So I'm going to stick with the theme of colour for the time being, and hopefully over the next 2 weeks work with the colour. Right, so there's two choices. Now, I think, well, choice one will be a colour collage. Now what I want you to do with this is I will post a picture like a still life, and I'll probably post it in black and white so you can only see it tonally. And what I want you to do is reproduce that still life using one colour. So for example, your colour might be blue, and what you need to do before you start tomorrow's session is get as many pages out of newspapers, magazines, brochures, whatever, with blue on, if that's your colour. And so the idea is you have a huge range of blues, from light blue to dark blue, obviously, and the kind of different types of blues in between, if you had blue. Okay, and then when you do, I will post in the morning via an email a still life which I'll put together, but I'll try and do it in black and white so you're not distracted by the colour. Then I want you to just basically work on that as a one colour tonal collage of a still life. Okay, so that's basically option one. So option two is to do the same still life, or your own still life if you want to, but I'll post a still life, and this time it will be, you'll see the colour version on the screen, or print it if you can. And then basically with this one I want you to paint it, but using all the skills of mixing that you've used over the last few weeks. So option two will be to paint that same still life using 3 primary colours, in other words the colour wheel, and mix up all the colours you can see, or as close to you can see on the still life. So that's the second choice. So they are the two choices, and as I said before, I thought it'd be better to have two choices this week, just because if you didn't have the right paints, then it gives you a week to perhaps get some paints, because I will want to keep using them paints. What I will do is email you a link to what I think you should ideally get hold of, and also a link to who's selling at the moment, because I know Jackson's and I think Discount are all selling selling products, and I think it's quite quick to get hold of. It'd be quite good if over the next week we made sure that everybody has the same materials. Right, so in the morning I will email at 10 o'clock or thereabouts a written email reminding you of the two choices, and with some images and some examples to sort of gee you along or get you going. Obviously, choose which one you want to do, and then we'll go from there. Ideally, we'll do the other version next week. So if you do one this week, do two next week, and vice versa. I hope that's pretty clear. And then once we get the lesson going, I will be in the studio. I'll have my phone, I'll have my iPad, and I'll have access to my emails, and if you can either ring in or use the WhatsApp group primarily. And as we go through the lesson, I'll sort of be, kind of working on something similar, and then we can kind of keep referring to each other and posting things and talking. In fact, there's somebody just posted now. That's Vicky. So there you go. You're on WhatsApp. So now you know when I filmed this. And hopefully that will all make sense. But please, I really hope this kind of works and we can sort of fudge something together, because I think it'd be great to sort of keep going. And I also think it'd be nice if we can dedicate, for me as well, sort of Monday mornings to doing something together. And as I said before, I do hope that once we know this kind of works and we can all sort of sit down sort of from 10 till 1 or whatever, we can try different mediums like Zoom or a house party, which sounds a bit sort of childish, but it's actually quite useful to this sort of thing, and see if those things can work too. I think that's kind of it. I'll try and do the rest as an email, and hopefully then once we get going, we can chat and sort of see how the lesson progresses. Anyway, have a nice evening, but you'll probably get this in the morning, so hopefully talk to you at some point tomorrow. Bye.